West Side. It's time for The Greg Show, starring Gregory Struss. I'm Scotty Joe Vegas, inviting you to stay tuned for the next 30 minutes as we visit with Aunt Gigi and celebrate 30 years of Greg Show entertainment. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who wants to be Jenny McCarthy's schoolgirl outfit, Mr. Gregory Struss!
Oh, great. Now the secret's out.
There you go.
Welcome back to The Greg Show, starring me, Gregory Struss. And I know some of you are probably wondering, why do you have the word starring in the title? Because basically you're, an unknown television personality. And I have came to the conclusion when we were trying to come up with a title for the show that after nearly 30 years of doing this sort of thing, that perhaps I might be a star in my own right. You think so?
That's true.
Yeah. And more so that I may qualify for Obamacare. So it's one of those wonderful things. Man, everybody is just on this Obamacare thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Now companies like Starbucks are getting in on the act by serving lattes that taste like cough syrup.
Wow.
Yeah. And Dunkin' Donuts is giving free flu shots with every muffin that's purchased. Unbelievable.
Muffin.
And BK, the Burger King Whopper,
Yes.
has been renamed to the useless I don't want to work for a living burger, which comes complete with a free government-issued cell phone. So it's funny how all these things happen. I understand you have a lot of things to talk about tonight.
Sure.
I feel like this is strange because we would have a conversation every so often, and then on the show, it's now the only time we see each other is on the show. So I don't know.
I made myself available many a times.
Okay.
Many times.
But anyway, this, as you may or may not know, is the 30th anniversary of when we did our first Greg Show back in November of 1983.
Wow.
Little studio, Thornton Township High School, and I remember missing the bus and talking to the great Mr. Dr. John Malloy, which was also a faux pas on my mistake, because when someone's a doctor, they're not a Mr. Doctor replaces Mr.
Oh, really?
But I thought Mr. Doctor was being more polite, Mr. Dr. John Malloy. So 30 years ago, I missed the bus after school and called home, and of course the phone was disconnected, but that's a whole different story.
Wow.
It was a freezing day. For some reason, my father didn't think that having a phone with young children was a good idea. And so anyway, it's great to see how things have come full circle. After missing that bus, 30 years later, I'm continually thrown under the bus. So it's...
Hello. Wowzer. Wow.
30 years ago, I was 15 years old and a soprano. And
Really?
shortly after that, it became a baritone or something. I can't quite remember. Well, actually, that was on the HBO special. The Sopranos came on HBO. Or was it Showtime? I can't remember. Seems like it was 30 years ago since the beginning of the show, actually.
Hello.
And do you remember back 30 years ago, everybody's favorite purple dinosaur was Ronald Reagan?
Yes.
Yeah.
His purple.
No, it wasn't. It was Barney didn't come out till like the 90s. And I don't think Barney ever really came out, but I mean his thing was out. Not his thing, but his act.
Yeah, I bet you Reagan and Nancy, I bet you they got it on quite often. Mommy and,
I don't know, but do you remember when you take a look at the cultural significance of what's gone on in 30 years, you take a look at Ron and Nancy. She used to, what did she used to do? She used to consult mediums. And run the White House. And then when they said, what goes good with red china, somebody said yellow napkins, but that was a whole different thing. It was a governmental thing. So, and do you remember Grimace?
yes.
Grimace was then a popular McDonald's character. And since then, he went on to become the poster child for viral loads.
Wow.
Thank you. I don't know if anyone got that or not.
People in Marshfield did.
We have a wonderful program for you tonight, emanating from NBC Comcast here in beautiful Elmhurst, Illinois. And this place is full of history as well. Because back, right around the same time, I think 30 years ago, Pat Sheffer was doing a show live every week out of here. You had the show Teenage with Nicolette Ferry, I think her show was.
Smashing show.
Smashing show. And now now nobody's really doing stuff on the local level out this way. They have sports and things like that.
Dan Schmidt, was he doing it 30 years ago?
Dan Schmidt was doing his show.
When he had a pencil mustache?
Almost 30 years ago, and he was still known as the, what was it, the Chicago's well-known Republican or unknown Republican or only Republican. So anyway. And finally, 30 years ago, the Chicago Bears actually played to win. So all of those things
It's true.
were great. I don't know what it is, but as football season goes along, it seems that people are less and less excited about, the people playing.
Wow.
But that's our last national pastime. Anyway, great show tonight for our 30th anniversary. Well, the 30th anniversary of when, the first Greg show was taped. Have to do it somehow. Scott's Aunt Jean's here. And it's so nice that Aunt Jean has agreed to come on the show. We haven't seen her in about a year. Mm-hmm. You've had a lot of things going on in your life.
Yes.
I don't know if we'll have time to talk about all of it, but
okay.
We'll certainly find out. And I was enjoying our conversation before the show. We were having our male bonding session, Bob and Mike, and you were getting ready, and I thought he bent over here, and I thought you lost your lunch.
Yeah.
But you had some liquid in your pocket.
I had some liquid.
Was it your sifter or something?
It was the Red Bull can.
Okay.
Yes.
Is everything all right?
I hope so.
Okay. Well, we think you're all right, and I'm Greg. This is the Greg Show, and we are reinventing community television in the west side of Chicago, and we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you.
Yeah. Gestapo.
As part of most cable companies' franchise agreements, they offer training and channels to their communities. In Chicago, some raw and wonderful programs run on Friday nights. Get away from the remote. We'll flip around for you. Here are my favorites.
Brian Show, featuring alternative music videos. The alternative Greg Davidson.
I'm Scotty Joe Vegas. Stay tuned because you'll meet in the next 30 minutes. You'll meet
Chicago's Cable Access Corporation operates 5 different channels and produces 35 hours of shows at their studios in the city.
If a Chicago resident has...
You've been really busy over the last year or so with making television appearances.
Yeah,
you had an HBO special, correct? Or?
No, I've been on TV and such. I'm sure very shortly an HBO special. After my appearance on this, I'll have enough juice to actually do the HBO special.
Thank you. You didn't scream too loud, did you?
I didn't think I did.
I feel like we're in NASA or something.
Hi, we're in space. Yes, go ahead.
NASA, are we clear? All right. I don't know how that make that noise. It's like this. It's what my father would do all the time. Yep. You're all right. Anyway, The Greg Show. We are celebrating 30 years. As you can tell, we've decorated the set, big budget. And rolled out all the promotion.
Fine Greek woman came out and they quilted.
Yeah, and then gave me some, leg of lamb or whatever they do at Easter time.
They do.
Yes.
They get it out.
They have a head of lamb. That's what they make. They make an entire lamb. Because I remember when I was living in Seattle, there was this restaurant called Olympia, the Olympia restaurant. And the show's over here, by the way. It's only a couple more minutes. I'm sorry that there's something going on over there. There's the Greek people, very nice people,
Best.
For Easter, make a lamb, right? The whole lamb. And I asked, what do you do with the eyeballs? And they said they eat it.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, whatever.
Hey, that lamb will keep an eye out for them.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
New video service. Well, not a new video service, but we have some shows right now on Vimeo. That's Vimeo.com, as well as on YouTube.com. And it's been a lot of fun because there's about 30 years worth of shows that have been handpicked by me. We didn't really do any editing on them, all in their original form and content. I don't know, some stuff on there from the high school days, some stuff on there from the 90s.
The 80s, the 90s, and today.
And today, on W Dix, where we whack off 10 in a row. All right, maybe you'll get that. Okay. And I remember Dennis was the producer of the show forever, and I miss him dearly.
Okay.
And he made this big thing, this big tablecloth that said WDIX. And I said, we can't do this on the show. And he said, come on, why not?
Why not?
I was so uptight back then. It's nice to see nothing's really changed. So anyway, we're on YouTube.com, and
Everybody
what else?
everybody at the church likes it. Everybody at the work likes it. They like your clean comedy, and they say that you're doing a good job. So a few people have said that to me and come up to me.
We have clean comedy. What I just said was clean.
Well, I mean, you have a couple shows that are clean, that are people like it.
And how do they like? I mean, what do you hear about things when you go out?
I hear usually like, "Hey, tell Greg that we love him," and I usually hear. I mean, they like the simple basic comedy because it's a lost art. Everybody else has to wadding you with information and this and that and whatnot, and you're giving them milk from their loins. What?
From their loins. Oh my gosh! So we have not been. We take like
Too long of breaks, eh?
Yeah. What's going on with that? Is that my fault, or is it a group thing? Is it a group consensus, or is it my deal?
I think it's a day-to-day struggle of humanity and humility.
Humanity and humility?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi! I'm supposed to bring energy to the show. You want to see energy? I'm going to show you some energy. I
had this long list.
I'd like to give a shout-out to everybody that is sick and not well. I hope you do better. If you need to go see a psychiatrist, go see a psychiatrist. If you need a pill, take a pill.
And that's a good thing to do because there's
struggle.
There's struggle, and I'm in school again. I say again. I think life is all about continuing education, regardless of what you're doing. There was a woman that was in her 90s that wanted to finish high school, and I was talking to somebody who said, "Well, what is that woman? What is she going to do with her degree?" It's not the point. She finished. It was something that she wanted to do, and it was an accomplishment. So whatever those things are in your life that you want to do,
get off your blank
Right.
and go to class. Get off your ink and go to class. Better yourself.
get involved.
Winter's coming. You're going to be
We need you to work on the show.
We need you to work on the show. Come on down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all
and
that
stuff. I see too many people struggling, and I wish them all, better. I would really break down and pray right now, but I don't want to be chastised out into the wilderness.
Well, we were talking before the show started, and I was kind of getting on a little bit of a soapbox before, and my sister just walks in, and then, of course, it had to become all about her like it always does.
It always is.
And I was talking about how we no longer have this thing called accountability. We do not have accountability, I think, in our daily lives. And I'm guilty of it, too, because I'm preaching all the time about having personal accountability. And, and at least I'm a work in progress. I can admit that, I have work to do on some of that. But you take a look at things in government, you take a look at things in schools, you have cover-ups, you have, things that happen in companies that police need to be notified about, and it's like, no, because there's politics involved, and there's no accountability. So then what do you have? You have young kids that are being raised a certain way, there's no limitations, none of those things. Now, I was just thinking as I was walking down the stairs into my man cave the other night, about what a mean man my father was, but he really made sense because we never had sugar. It was always a treat to have, like, pop, maybe once a week, if we were lucky.
I'm listening,
Okay?
brother.
So now you go into, like, a Walmart, and all these kids are heavy, eating Tostitos before anyone pays for anything, drinking all the pop.
Yeah, that kind of ripes my chaps.
And
yes.
and it's like, where are things called values? They just, and then I start to feel like I feel like I'm old-fashioned here and losing, well, you don't have kids. What do you know? I don't have to have kids to know these things. And I'd be a damn good father, by the way.
You'd be a great father.
I said, Celine and I are going to have, our love child in our 40s, and maybe twins, a boy and a girl, twin. In vitro, I don't know if she's for that yet.
Okay.
But anyway, but what you're saying about pills and things like that, if you have issues in your life, there's people out there to help you
There's
with those
classes,
issues.
there's doctors, there's friends.
Yeah, because
Ask for help.
Because I don't know about you, I know when I went through difficult periods in my life that I wanted to spend, quite a time alone because I didn't think anybody wanted to be around.
I didn't know that you would go out and go to a class. I didn't know that you could do that to better yourself. I'm in 2 classes right now, and they're totally like other ends of the spectrum. And these people they really gave me a different outlook of how to better myself.
What kind of classes are they?
We're on Thursday night. I'm having a safe people class. It's about, like where you see if persons are safe to be around. And then Tuesday is kind of like, they called it a concave of men. Concave?
Concave?
Concave.
Enclave?
Conclave. Conclave. It's a gathering of men, and it's how to step up and be a better man. And
what are some of the things that they talk about in there?
You would not believe what they talk about.
Do they talk about paying child support?
Believe it or not.
What is it with these men that don't want to pay child support, and that they have these attitudes about, or not being involved with the child's life? I feel like I'm like crying out about something tonight, but it's like, isn't being a man, like what is being a man? Isn't being a man being responsible for the things in your life, like if you have a family, if you have things?
They talked about the 3 Bs: a bigger wallet, a bigger house, and a bigger trophy wife. That was like what they had. No, I'm serious. That's how most men judge themselves. And then they're saying, well, that's not it, because you got to be a better man. And it was ugly. It was the ugly truth.
So is there a thing called values that they're touching on, accountability, and
yes,
like that?
Yes, absolutely. Stepping up and being a man.
Yeah.
It was just, they didn't say woman. But they did say man, so I imagine woman's also involved in that. But
Lola was a man originally. Was that
whatever
song?
Lola wants, Lola
there were two songs of Lola. Lola, Lola.
Oh yeah.
There were 2 songs with Lola.
And then, remember Lola Falana?
Yes, she was great.
And you remember Lolo?
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, you're in these classes and they talk about these things. Now I'm doing a CADC, which is drug and alcohol counseling, but it's really addiction counseling. Thank you so much. And it's intriguing things, talking about the cycle of addiction and things like that. And there's all kinds of addiction. I mean, I think for a while that when I was doing the show back in the day that it was probably an addiction. And I'm still sick. And
I'm addicted to you.
But the fact is that there's so many different programs, and I really feel that it's getting down to the root cause of those things in my, I had to get down to the root causes in my life of things that were going on and really realizing that my part in it, the whole world was not out to get me. I probably was out to get myself on a certain level.
That's just how it works.
Yeah. And so, I like when, I went to different kinds of groups and listened to people talk. And today I don't choose to be sick. I don't choose to be around sick people. And it's put me at odds with this universe I live in because I think a certain way. And I don't know. I've always been the man that marches to the beat of my own drum, I guess, on a certain level.
That happens. That's good.
All right. Okay. They're giving me the finger. I don't know. It wasn't the finger, but it was a finger.
It was a Bobby finger.
I don't know. Did you go to the proctologist today? Is that what that was for? No.
Wow.
I don't know. Isn't that what he usually says? Yes. It's windy over here. They never say it's fudge. Okay. So, what else is coming up with you?
A lot of things. Are we going to date the material, or are we going to keep it universal? Like Christmas is coming. Christmas time's coming. Christmas.
We can't say that on TV anymore. The holidays. It's a holiday. It's a holiday time. It's you have the Jewish New Year, the Greek New Year. You have the,
Everybody is treated the same on this show. We do not discriminate.
That's
we take all kinds. Either you drugged, undrugged, loved, sugged, cornholed, we'll take you.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, we'll cut that out.
No, we won't. It's raw. I don't know if that's good either. But anyway, we will take a break, and when we come back, Aunt Jean
All right.
has
30
come
years,
all
baby.
the way. Where did Aunt Jean come from today?
She came from Shannon, Illinois.
Shannon, Illinois. ladies and
Shannon,
gentlemen.
Illinois. Oi, oi, oi.
Who used to always give the applause to? Yeah, let's hear it for Aunt Jean in Shannon, Illinois.
Shannon, Illinois. Yeah.
Before we break, one last story. I used to work with this girl she was a young lady, and we used to call her Shannon Dude, because every time she talked, it was, hey dude,
Why do they keep on talking?
hey dude. Yeah, hey dude, this is what she used to do. So she went to court. She had this Shannon Dude, this young lady I used to work with at a place. And so we used to call her Shannon Dude, because every time she talked, yeah dude, yeah dude. And so anyway, she goes to court. And she kept talking, and the woman said, shut your mouth. I mean, the bailiff was just
Yes.
like this. She was like from Cell Block H or something.
right.
I remember that show.
That's right.
And she's like, shut up. Yeah, no, dude, you can't talk to me that way, dude. So she came to work one day, and she said she went through this whole thing. Now, we're talking accountability here. Goes to
Accountability.
court. Didn't even admit to what the court thing was, her fault in it. And then said that after the lady told her to shut up, she must have been talking, yeah, dude, no, you can't talk to me like that, dude. They strip searched her and threw her in jail for 24 hours because she was for contempt.
That's
Yeah, they called me contempt. She said, do you understand? I told you to shut up. And they strip searched her, and she said, I felt like this small, dude. And so did I after she told me the story. Anyway, when we come back, Aunt Jean, and much more. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
All right.
In one sense, celebrating our 30th year, 30 years ago that we shot the first show, not with these folks, but I was there. And
Yes, you
it was
were.
history. It really was. It was a lot of fun. I remember that year I went, I ended up going on and did the morning announcements, and then someone asked me to come on WGN and with the choir. So
Very
it was
good.
it was a lot of fun, and nobody at home watched, and I grew up with that thing going. But I still don't have the chip on my shoulder, just a potato chip.
There you go.
All right, this is the lovely Aunt Jean. This is Scott's Aunt Jean, and you are Papa Joe Vegas's sister,
Right.
right? We have not met Papa Joe. How is Papa Joe doing?
So far, so good for
Okay.
80-some.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was always one of my favorite. One of those life-size people. in
Man
life.
of man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and he just was. I don't know. As a kid, I remember him and.
That's how he was growing up, too. I was number 5.
Papa Joe always said, Scott,
Yep.
I'm not messing around. We went out one night. I don't know if he ever told you this story. We're like teenagers. We're walking around Blue Island. I said, what are we doing? It's freezing outside. He said, oh, yeah, I got this girl I want to go see. I'm like, because he always had them lined up all over the place. Gave me the leftovers, and I passed. And I'm like, you're not from Dalton.
Wow.
You're from
We went to White
Posen.
Castle.
Yeah, so we went to White Castle. We're walking around. And there was no such thing as a cell phone. There were all those. So it's kind of scary when you think about what people our age got away with walking. And so, did we get lost or did it get late?
We missed the bus.
We missed the bus. And what time was it?
10:30.
Oh, it was 10:30, but it seemed like it was like
Past curfew.
really late.
Yeah.
And so Scott called his father up. I remember you had this van that went on forever. It was a Dodge van.
Yep.
They had the Dodge van that was like a cube. Then they had the Dodge van that was like the ice cream
I
truck. And then
remember.
they had the Dodge van that was like a bus. So he pulls up and he said, what were you guys doing? Playing grab ass out there. Get in.
Well,
No, he was great. I had to embellish the story a little bit. So, but that's what I remember.
Yeah.
So they would always pick me up. We'd go see he was a madrigal. So
Oh,
we'd
yeah.
always go to concerts
Sure.
and stuff. Yeah. So enough about that memory. what's been going on with you? Now, you usually, you have not been coming, because for a while you were coming, and then you guys would hit the, what do you do for buffets and recreation?
There you go.
So what happened?
Well, last time I seen you, I had surgery November 1st last year. Had ankle surgery. Had one of the top 5 doctors in the nation work on it. Found out I had no bone hardly left. So I have a plate and 4 screws in my ankle. I had, what do you call it, a cast on my foot for 3 months. Couldn't walk on it.
Well, on September 1st of this year, we had a chiropractor on the show and found out I don't have a spine. So maybe I should go talk to the people.
Oh, my.
And the psychic predicted it when she had ankle surgery.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about like this psychic. Did you ever meet this psychic? Did you ever go see the psychic?
Long time ago, yeah.
Really? And what did you think of her? Was she on the up and up or not?
Oh, yeah. And everything she told Scott was coming to
So you're
her
buying
head.
the Kool-Aid too, or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, this is Aunt Jean. And so you had the surgery taken care of. And the thing about anxiety, I don't know if you know this.
Okay.
Anxiety is like the fight or flight syndrome. It's what deers go through looking in a headlight. So anytime you see people like hunting deers with lights, it's because it kind of blinds them. It's the fight or flight syndrome.
Okay.
So what anxiety does is really it's part of our defense mechanism.
Oh.
But chronic anxiety is a serious issue, and it's real. And a lot of people, treat their anxiety either getting into substances like alcohol, drugs, whatever, because it's real. Anxiety is just a horrible thing to go through.
Right.
So the way you work through anxiety is step by step, and literally in your case, step by step.
That's right.
Doesn't that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I did.
So really, what's going to happen? Well, I can't do it. All right, you're feeding the anxiety. You're giving the anxiety support. So this way, doing something, making that extra step each time, you're getting rid of the anxiety because you're kind of fighting it head on.
Well,
Thank you.
doesn't bother me now.
That's from Dr. David Barlow, who was
Very good.
a leading psychiatrist in the field of anxiety disorders.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and we'll spend a show talking about that sometime.
Hey.
I want to thank my dear friend Scotty Joe Vegas for coming in 5.5 hours every time we do the show. I want to thank Bob Rutherford, our director, Bob Mudra, our camera person, Mike Mickrit, our audio person. We have audio engineer. We have Lee Denham, who is in charge of us out here at NBC Comcast. Jeremy, who's in master control. All the wonderful people out here. I've just in 30 years of doing community television and other kinds of television, this has just been a lot of fun, and each week
It is fun.
trying to do something different. So we're glad you're tuning in. Once again, The Greg Show's on YouTube.com, also on Vimeo.com, and on NBC Comcast every Wednesday night here in the west side of Chicago.
My girls in Florida. I got them watching YouTube now.
Oh, wow. Well, that's very
They
nice.
thought you were very handsome. And of course, who was very funny? They says, "Oh, Jean, you look so pretty." And I thought, "What do you mean I look pretty?" "Well, you never wore makeup or nothing when we seen you." And I thought, okay.
I do.
Wow.
Anyway,
Okay.
only on the show.
There you go.
Anyway, this is Greg Struss. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Bye.